Hey, everybody. Hey, Michael.
Hello, hello.
Wonderful to be on this September 1st and do another podcast. So, you ready?
I am so ready. Let's do it.
All right. Hello and welcome to. Try again.
Where are we?
Hello.
Where are we again? Is it the weekend? I mean, we're messing this up. Come on, Brian. Let's do it.
It's a holiday.
It is.
Hello, and welcome to Python Bytes, where we deliver Python news and headlines directly to your earbuds. This is episode 447, recorded September 1st, 2025. And I'm Brian Ocken.
And I'm Michael Kennedy.
And this episode is sponsored by DigitalOcean. Thank you, DigitalOcean. And you can get a $200 free credit, and there's a link in the show notes, but we're going to talk about that more later in the episode. Of course, follow us or send us info on the socials on Blue Sky or Mastodon. Links are in the show notes as well. And if you'd like to watch the show live, head over to pythonbytes.fm/live. And that's the link also if you just want to see it after the fact. If you want to look at the video, see what we're looking at. And finally, please sign up for our email newsletter list. Go over to pythonbytes.fm and hit the newsletter link, and we send you all the links that we talk about in every episode in an email and a bunch of background information too. All right, Michael, what are we starting with today?
You know, I'm really afraid, Brian. I'm sorry, but I might be taking us down a rat hole. I really might.
Oh no.
I want to talk about Rathole, this tool. So Rathole is you probably have heard of ngrok, right?
Yeah. We've talked about it.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, and it's super useful. One of the things that is a real big challenge a lot of times is I need to let somebody or something access an API. Let me give you two really big examples that are useful for this. One is webhooks. You want to do e-commerce, but it doesn't really matter. Anything that has to do with a webhook, where you're on the receiving end, you're creating the webhook, that's a public website or service that's going to call your webhook. It needs a public page to access that. Well, do you want to try to open up all the different firewalls on your machine and your NAT router and then map an IP address and then give that to that thing? No, just don't do that. But you need somewhere where you can type in a URL and say, here's my URL for the webhook when a signup happens or a thing, whatever, right? Whatever the webhook's triggering.
Yeah.
So you need a public thing. So with ngrok and Rathole and other tools, what you can do is you can say, create me based on this domain, basically an SSH tunnel or something to that equivalent that goes back into my machine so that then you can share that URL and basically say, I want that port to map over to my web app. And you can literally run PyCharm, set a breakpoint, go to the external service, make it do a thing, and then boom, you're debugging through and you're checking it out, right? It's really, really nice. So ngrok is great, but people may have noticed I'm on this self-hosting Rathole itself, if you will. So I don't know. There's just something about ngrok. They've changed their services a bunch, and I'm not super psyched about it. So I'm like, well, what else is out there? And Chat and I had a little conversation about it, and we decided that this is one of the really nice high parity features. Also written in Rust, more high performance than some of the other ones like FRP and ngrok it calls out.
Okay.
So what I did is I set this up onto my machine, onto my server, same one that runs Python Bytes, and just said, they just run in the background. And I've set up the certificates so that I can just type Rathole with a port number, on my terminal. I just open and say Rathole 3000. Or let's say Rathole 5000. And then I have a port map, URL map automatically over to say any Flask app that I run. How cool is that? And it's completely self-hosted. And here's the thing. You might think, oh, self-hosted, all the stuff you got to deal with. It's a single Rust binary that runs in Docker. And let me see. I'll give you up to the date stats if I can find them. If it's not going to take too long. The last time I checked, it was about 3 megabytes of memory usage. What is the rat hole doing right now? Oh my God, the rat hole is out of control. It's up to 11 megabytes of memory usage on a 16 gigabyte machine. I think it's going to be okay. Isn't that cool
Yeah.
though? So it's just got like
Yeah.
a Docker container that I didn't even have to do any Docker stuff. I just set up like a little compose file to map all the settings over so that I don't have to deal with like passing them every time I run it, and just set it up as an auto start daemon. But yeah, I just set that up and off it goes.
Cool. Now,
Yeah.
so when you're not using it, do you turn it off or is it just always sort of running?
If it took a lot of memory or resources or something, I would turn it off, but it's 11 megabytes,
Okay.
And so it's really it really low. Like, let me give you a sense of like other stuff that's running on the server. So right now we have MongoDB, which is using 1.3 gigabytes. We have TalkPython, which is using 927 megabytes, so a gigabyte. What's Python Bytes is running at 590 megabytes. So, like 11 out of these is like, it doesn't even show up on the radar, right? Like you couldn't even notice if it's running or not. And so because of that, no, I just leave it running.
Okay. And then so it's running something on your server and then something on your laptop also, or
So there's a command that you can run locally. And I think I don't have it set up on my streaming computer. I have it on my dev one. So I can't look at it real quick, but I'm pretty sure I just set it up to run the Docker image,
Okay.
just sharing ports in the right way. So I just do a Docker run command and say, share that port to this port when I do the map command. And so I don't even really have it installed, but yeah, it's just a super small binary that runs.
Okay. This sounds really neat. I like it.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit of a pain to set up, but it's not too bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to shift gears completely. I guess something else that sometimes is a pain. Maybe. I'm trying to do a transition here. Let's talk about pre-commit. So I know we've talked about pre-commit, but I don't think we've brought it up lately. And one of the things is I used to use it a ton, and then I moved a lot of my tooling to CI and don't run it as much anymore. However, I'm going back to using it a lot. So pre-commit, just as a reminder, it's a tool. Well, there's this notion of pre-commit, which is a pre-commit hook for Git, so that whenever you commit something, you can assign pre-commit hooks. There's a project called pre-commit, which is something that's written in Python, but it allows you to easily set up a whole bunch of these pre-commit GitHub hooks. So Python project and the hook thing. Okay, so why am I bringing this in? And you can do things like hook up linters and you can run tests and stuff, but I generally don't do that as a pre-commit hook. I'll do linters and other stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever set up tests as a pre-commit hook. It's just because whatever you want to. I mean, I guess you'd say disable the hooks to check in the fix for the hook, and it's
yeah,
and they're slow, and there's just a lot to it. But yeah, I agree with the stuff you're recommending.
okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things is pre-commit doesn't by default have a official way to use UV. It doesn't natively support UV, and I, like a lot of people, are using UV to install stuff because it's just so fast. Instead of pip install, I do UV pip install. What we're talking about is an article from Adam Johnson talking about pre-commit install with UV, and as he puts it, the installation guide for pre-commit isn't obvious. It's not terrible, but it's not obvious how to get things set up. But he's recommending using UV tool install pre-commit with pre-commit UV. So this is another project called pre-commit-UV, and this is a couple things. This is both an extra thing for pre-commit, but yeah, I guess that's it. It's a plugin for pre-commit. But so what you're getting with this is you're install when if you do UV tool install, you're installing pre-commit with UV, but then you're also all the extra things. So these extra tools like hooks for linters and all this sort of stuff that gets installed with pre-commit with pip normally, but this extra pre-commit UV will allow it so that all of your tools are installed if they're Python-based tools, get installed with UV as well. So essentially, just speeding up this whole tool chain, and and if you're switching around with a bunch of projects, that makes sense to be able to update that stuff quickly and install it quickly. So there we
I
go.
love it. UV. UV for the win. I'm actually talking with Charlie Marsh tomorrow, but talking about PYX, the
Yeah,
server side equivalent of UV. So that should be
cool.
fun.
I'll be looking forward to listening to that one. Um, Another thing that is pretty awesome is our sponsor, DigitalOcean.
Absolutely. Let me tell you about DigitalOcean. Definitely a big fan of theirs. And this episode is brought to you by DigitalOcean. They're a comprehensive cloud infrastructure service that's simple to spin up, even for the most complex workload. And it's a way better value than most cloud providers. Like if you're using AWS, because everyone uses AWS, you might seriously consider using DigitalOcean. It will save you so much money. And you don't get deer in the headlights. Well, there's 300 services. How do I put them together? It's nice and simple and powerful. So at DigitalOcean, companies can save up to 30% off their cloud bill. DigitalOcean boasts 99.99% uptime SLAs and industry-leading pricing on bandwidth. It's built on the cloud backbone of It's built to be the cloud backbone of businesses, small and large, and GPU-powered virtual machines are available, plus storage, database, networking capabilities, all in one platform. So if you're doing AI developers can confidently create apps that their users are going to love. Devs have access to a complete set of infrastructure tools that they need for both training and inference, so that they can build anything they dream up. DigitalOcean provides full-service cloud infrastructure that's simple to use, reliable no matter what the use case, scalable to any size business, and affordable on a budget. What does affordable mean? VMs start at $4 a month. $4. This might be relevant to my next topic, actually, Brian. And GPUs start under $1 an hour. So you can easily spin up infrastructure built to simplify even the most intense business demands. That's DigitalOcean. If you're going to join, please use DO4Bytes, DO the number 4 bytes. You can get a $200 in free credit to get started. That code is in our show notes. You can definitely check it out there. DigitalOcean is the cloud that's got you covered. Please use our link with the offer. You'll find it in the podcast player show notes. It's a clickable chapter URL as you're hearing the segment. And it's at the top of the episode page at pythonbytes.fm. Thank you to DigitalOcean for supporting Python Bytes. Love it.
Definitely love it. Also, I love that Python 3.14 is going to come out here pretty soon. I guess soon in the relative sense. We got a couple months
It's
left,
almost
I guess.
Christmas for Python Christmas.
So I can't remember the timing. We've done this a few years in a row on the yearly, but I still don't remember. But anyway, I'm already starting to use 3.14 and I'm excited about it. But one of the new things that's coming up with Python with the new one version is FuncTools placeholder. And honestly, I saw something about it and I was like, huh? And so let's go look at it. So
Is this when you just, I don't really want to write a function. I'll just put a little FuncTools placeholder on it.
No.
I thought of it as kind of a stand-in for the ... or pass or whatever when you just write a function. And then I read it more and I'm like, oh no, this is something else. Tell us about it.
So I am a fan of FuncTools partial. And again, it's a little obscure. So, okay, little rabbit hole, or rat hole here. So partial is a cool way to create a new function by partially binding some parameters of another function. So let's say you've got a function that takes like 6 parameters, and you want to have everybody use it, but fill in the same thing for like 4 of the parameters. You can fill those in with partial and return a function that only takes 2 parameters, and then your users can, or the users of your API can use a cleaner interface with just a couple. Now, it's so cool. However, it's got some limitations, that sometimes positional parameters. It works great for keywords, but for positional parameters, that's hard to decide which one to fill it in. So it doesn't work on all functions. Enter placeholder. So placeholder is the ability to just say this is where I want it to go, and if I've got a partial that like if I want to pass print, like bind the print function, I want the first two. I want the first two to be placeholdered, and I want the last one to be world, so that I can pass in hello dear and have that come out. Okay, that seems a little trivial. So I was still trying to get a good example, and the good example came from Rodrigo from mathspp.com, and his example, which is perfect, um, is to remove punctuation with a function. And he's got a little example. I've got his Blue Sky post to use placeholder and partial to use translate to and make trans to fill in this partial thing to create a partial function that removes punctuation. And then you just have a function that you say, hey, remove the punctuation from hello world, and it takes out the comma and the exclamation point. Something like that is great because this whole removing punctuation thing that comes up, or removing, I'm doing markdown episodes for my podcast. I'm converting to markdown, but the Hugo doesn't like colons in your title, so you got to remove the colons, that sort of thing. This is great. And then he also has an article to go with it, how to use FuncTools placeholder, where he kind of walks through basically what I just talked about. Is partial is great, but it doesn't always work, so placeholder comes to the rescue. So awesome write-up about the new placeholder functionality. So thanks, Rodrigo.
Interesting. Yeah. Thanks for helping me understand that a little better. I don't use FuncTools.partial really very much. So placeholder, which enhances that, doesn't give me a lot of clarity on its own.
Oh, I use it a lot. I mean, like not a lot, but there's a lot of times where a built-in function does almost everything I need, except for that I need to pass in a bunch of preset stuff, and I want to expose that as an API. And you can wrap it, but you can also just do a partial. It's cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
This was going to be a little extra, just a tiny thing I threw at the end.
Okay.
And then it grew and it grew and it grew and it became more and more. So so here's the headline. I converted the other night 160 old blog posts from WordPress.com to Hugo using AI in a couple of hours.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. And this is something that has been absolutely driving me nuts for years. I've had all these posts over on blog.michaelckennedy.net, which is the domain I happened to be able to get at the time. And they were on WordPress with this custom theme and so on. And I was just done with WordPress. Every time I went there, it was just like an antidote against writing. Like, I just don't want to write here. Like, why am I doing it? Like, I would much rather write Markdown and just have simple and clean code like my current website. We've talked a lot about using Hugo. Like, you use Hugo, I use Hugo. My mkennedy.code site is Hugo. All right. But how do I get stuff from WordPress.com over to Hugo? Well, guess what? There's an export feature in WordPress. Yeah. But if you have the paid WordPress account, which is what you need to have your own domain and not your username.wordpress.com, there's different tiers. Well, you have to pay the $200 version to get the export feature turned on.
What?
Yes. That's like multiple levels up. I'm like, oh, these guys are holding my stuff hostage. Screw them. I'm just going to put my last blog post over there was, we've moved to this place. Please join me there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, but Then I got a renewal for $50 or $48. I'm like, I really don't want to just keep paying for the rest of my life $48 to this thing, you know? So I'm like, it's just too much work to move it over, right? Without an export, I could have paid that as well, but then I'd still have to migrate it from HTML and WordPress export format to Markdown. So I'm like, I don't really. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me just fire up Cursor and just say, Cursor, over there, I want this stuff. I want it over here into Hugo. And I showed it, I opened the Hugo page in Cursor, or the Hugo site in Cursor. And I said, here's the URL. Go get it. And I said, I'm on it. And within like 5 minutes, it had all the posts move over. I'm like, this is amazing. But it based it off the RSS feed, which is totally reasonable. But the WordPress site limits the amount of content in the RSS feed to 50, not all of my posts. I'm like, oh, where are they? Rats. I got some of them, but not all of them. And so then I just said, hey, go back after it and give me, you just start scraping the thing, right? And so it just started web scraping the other pieces. I told it to download all the images, all those kind of things. And it did it. It took a couple of iterations, like it downloaded the comments. I'm like, no, I don't want the comments. I'm sorry, I should have told you no comments. But eventually it took it out. And so now if you go to posts, I've got like 200 posts over here going back to 2006. But like here, let me see if I can find one like this. Let's just do something that'll come. This is definitely going to come up. Let's search this. Okay. And I also put the domain, I put the URL path. So normally for all my real posts, I wrote on Hugo, they're like /post/ whatever, but I put all the archived ones in /post/r/whatever, so that I can just look at, oh, that's an archive post for whatever reason.
Okay.
You know? But if we go over here and search, you can see somewhere in here, I'm sure that, maybe if I search for that and oh gosh, that's really bad. I'm about to search for something else. But if I find one of these, you'll see that, this one's definitely going to come up. Surely there's no way that, I can't remember why I wrote this article. Doesn't really matter. There we go. So notice it's a blog, michaelckennedy.net, 2011-01-19. The date. This is like WordPress style, and then the name. But if I hit it, boom, instantly mapped over. So okay. I'll even gave people in the show notes the Nginx configuration to rewrite all of those things. So now I'm just hosting my old domain, and I just have a really complicated regular expression route match that then pulls off that little last piece and then sticks it on /post/r/slug.
Okay. Different. I went with a little different technique, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm interested to hear what you did, but I got these all over there. They're all integrated into the search engine. So like if you hit NuGet or whatever, boom, get all these old things that I really don't care super tons about, but I wrote it. I don't want it to go away, right? So a couple other noteworthy things, like I did not put this in. Let me pull this up first. There's an article on Ars Technica that just came out. This is one of the things that got me going just like a couple days ago. It says, blogging service Typepad is shutting down, taking all content from all users from all time away with it.
What? Wow.
It's like,
there were a bunch of artists that I followed that used Typepad for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is not good, is it? If that was you. And so this points out, like, if you don't have your own domain, like if I don't really remember what my username was, mkennedy.wordpress.com. I don't think that's what it was, but whatever it is, if that was what your domain was, your content is gone and you have no choice whatsoever if the service shuts down forever, right? Because you can't remap that domain. You don't own wordpress.com or typepad.com.
Right.
And I'm just, looking around. There's some other places that might want to, hold on, that didn't copy. There's some other places that might want to take that to heart. For example, the PSF.
Blogspot. I know. Blogspot,
it's,
really?
it's pyfound.blogspot.com. I know we have some people who are full-time employees making amazing impact at the PSF. We have Lucas Schlinga, developer in residence, Michael Larson, Mike Fiedler. There's an opportunity for somebody to go, let's get our own custom domain here and just leave it on Blogspot. But if for some reason Blogspot shuts down just like Typepad did, it's going to be quite the bad time. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. What else do I have to add to this? Nothing. I don't have anything to add. I just think if you feel like your stuff has been out there trapped and been hostage, you can not only get it out, but you can really carefully decide, like, I want it to appear in my new setup exactly like this. Like, I want it under /R for archived. And also, if you go to my RSS feed, the older posts don't show up in RSS, but the newer ones do. Because I don't want people just go, whoa, where'd 160 new posts come from? And why are they 10 years old? You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of flexibility here. And, it used to be just, like, it was not worth it. But if you just fire up an agentic AI and let it go on it, like, it might be worth it. Because it's not
Yeah.
I think I wrote down in the notes, it took me 3 to 4 hours to do this. And to me, that felt like, okay, my content has been held hostage by WordPress.com, and I finally, I sent in like SEAL Team 6 and we got it out without actually paying the ransom. Sort of. It's kind of how I feel about it. Anyway, what did you do for yours? Because you moved yours around as well, right?
Yeah. So let me I'll pop over and show you. Well, are we into extras now? I guess we'll just do
We
extras.
are into extras. I'm done with this topic anyway. How's that?
Okay. Well, I'll show you at least this little bit. So over at pythontest.com, so not that one. I have under the extras, I got test and code archive. So I took I did an archive of all of test and code, 200 and well, I'm missing episode 1, so it's 237 episodes off by one error. I kind of like that anyway. So in each of these is, of course, it's a markdown file. And the how to get all this. So this is like the similar URL. If I were the old testing code is still up, and if I go to that episode, that so long as episodes, so long and thanks for all the fish, that's there. And then over at the archive, it's this sort of the same URL for that episodes. But if I want to redirect it, like if somebody just types in 237 or 238, that's supposed to work also. So I've got it set up to do that. I think 238 works, and also even if they just go to the top level of that, I think that works. And that's done with aliases. So I didn't do it. I did it with Markdown or Hugo aliases. I didn't do it with
Got it.
With something else. So, and then eventually, probably next week, I'm going to redirect the top level testing code to the archive page with this. Yeah, what are the archive page? This top level pythontest.com/testing code. So
Yeah, perfect.
that's how, and then anything after that will just redirect to wherever. So that's how I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I didn't do the people thing yet, and I don't know if I will. So I had like all of the different people had their own little page, but there's not much there other than social links and stuff. So I might just do that. So anyway,
yeah, that's thought it worked.
But I also I almost had it working, but I had a hard time finding all of these original links because my the feed XML that I downloaded was incorrect, and I popped open Copilot with using Claude Sonnet 4 or something like that, and said, hey, I'm trying to import this. Can I get you write a Python script to grab all the links? And it it said, "Oh, I'm trying to, but the feed the XML is corrupted." Um, and then but it like worked around it and did it anyway with like just like parsing the file, which was kind of ugly. But I'm like, hey, I just need to get this done in like 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
it helped
You
me
don't
out.
ever need to keep that code. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say things like, "Oh, I can't believe you would use AI for this." You know, those things make up stuff and whatever. And it's like, it when it wrote the program, it's either going to migrate it over successfully or not. You can look at the article and see is the content there and is it all
Yeah.
out of whack or does it look fine? And if it's fine, who cares? There's no tech debt. There's none of that because I'm never going to run that again. I literally remap the DNS and it's gone. I deleted my paid account and it's gone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I needed to update like 237 markdown files, and I'm probably gonna, if I have to make modifications to them later, I'll do it one off. I'll just do a search and replace for everything. And which that's what I did also. So I had these like link to the episode archive and also the feed URL. I'm like, oh, I should have added those in. Well, I just did a search and replace on all the files and did that. I didn't ask Claude to do that for me. But so there's all sorts of fun stuff. And thanks to DigitalOcean, the new episodes are hosted. Sorry about that. The new episodes are hosted on DigitalOcean Spaces,
Oh,
and
is that
that's
where you put them? Yeah, I have a
yeah.
ton of stuff hosted on DigitalOcean Spaces. And anytime you see something like blobs.pythonbytes.fm, that's DigitalOcean Spaces as well.
So that's that went down from like what, $20 a month, which isn't terrible that I was paying before, down to a whopping $5 a month with DigitalOcean Spaces. So that's great.
And you have the freedom. Now it's in Hugo. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly. All right. So that was one of my extras. Was, hey, the testing code is finally archived over
Yeah,
in
I'm glad you
iHabit's account.
decided to keep that around. That's a ton of work, and having that around for historical reasons is good.
And I probably am going to do to get off Transistor altogether. Python people. I got to do Python people.fm, but I don't remember how many. Oops. Python people. It's like what, 14 episodes. I could do that by hand if I had to. So that's not going to be bad. Okay. The other extra that I wanted to talk about was just a really fun thing that Seth Larson brought up. So Seth Larson put a post up for SMS URLs, and he said, "Did you know that you can like the mail to URL? You
Oh,
can do
really?
SMS." And if I'm not going to click on this because it won't do anything on my
It's
laptop, I don't think.
it's also the Hollywood.
No, yeah. Um, but if you do it on your phone, it'll open up an SMS it'll open up your SMS app, your text messaging app, and fill it in with "Hello World," which is cool. So this whole fill in thing, why is this neat? Well, it's fun anyway. It's just fun for one, but also, wouldn't it be cool if you could just type in? One of the things you can do with URLs is you can create QR codes. So Seth also wrote this draft an SMS message um, from any computer keyboard, because you can just go to a computer and type stuff in here, and it generates a QR code. And the fun thing is as you're typing, the QR changes because.
That is wild. I love
And
it.
so
Yeah.
watch this. So if you take like a bunch of lorem ipsum and drop it in there, you get like this. Look at that
Oh
dense
my
QR code.
gosh. Yeah, you need a high res print out of that.
Yeah, but then so what you do is you just point your, so you don't even have to have SMS. You could anywhere. You can be at a work computer and even just type this in. It doesn't save it anywhere, and then you just snap the QR code with your phone, and it opens up your text messages. So it's pretty fun. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just thought that was neat. Also,
That's
I still use lorem ipsum all the time, so shout out to loremipsum.com for stuff. Anyway,
yeah. I prefer the hipster ipsum.
hipster ipsum.
Have you seen it?
Oh, I don't know. Hipster
I don't
ipsum me.
Yeah, hit it. Give that a little bit of a read.
Oh yeah, I'm baby
Yeah.
post-ironic green juice cornhole normcore actually heirloom beard quinoa cronut. Put a bird on it, put a bird on it, man. Bun. Oh, this is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to do
Yeah.
this.
It's, I don't know. I just get tired of looking at Lorem Ipsum all the time. I'm like, let's just throw some cupping kinfolk.
Butcher next level +1 waistcoat. Venmo same Franzen microdosing. Cred.
Microdosing.
Farm to
Farm
table.
to table microdosing.
Vaporware. Yeah, this is good.
It's pretty good, yeah. But same basic idea as Lorem Ipsum.
8-bit
Nice.
literally. Yeah. Nice.
All right, you
All
got any
right.
more extras or is that it?
No, that's my extras, but we got one big extra, right?
Oh yeah. We do. This is the big one. So the Python, the documentary, an origin story is out, and it's a 1 hour, 24-minute, highly produced, very entertaining documentary with many friends of the show. People have been on your other shows, Brian, like your Python people. A lot of them are here, right? And
Yeah.
same for Talk Python as well. And I am really looking forward to watching this. It came out a couple days ago, and I'm like, oh, I could watch it. But I actually think what would be really fun, I would love to just hear your first impression of this. I think it would be fun to do a group watch through and set up some kind of chat, like a Discord chat or something, for whoever wants to watch it all together and hasn't seen it yet. I think that'd be kind of cool, and just have like a chat going in
Yeah.
parallel to watching it, something like that. So kind of like people do with keynotes every now and then and so on. So I don't know. I'm contemplating the logistics of that. If I can come up with a good idea on the next day or two, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just watch it.
Well, I mean, there
myself.
was when it first came out, they did like a chat thing.
Yeah, it came out as a premiere, I believe, and you can see the chat replay. But like, how many people who would want to watch this actually watched it during its premiere? Probably not that many.
Yeah.
So,
I just got rid of my inflatable screen too. We could have done it in like a cul-de-sac or something.
oh, you had one of those big. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, during the pandemic, we had like this 20-foot, 23-foot screen or something like that. So
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. We didn't have that.
well, you suck, I guess. I don't know.
Actually, we have a covered outdoor area in the back now, and I ended up with an extra 50-inch flat screen TV, and bought it for my dad, and it turns out he didn't need it anymore, so I got it back. I'm like, what am I going to do this? I'm like, we're sticking this outside. So we've got a little area, but it's not a 20-foot screen. Like that's the next level business right there.
I don't remember how big it was. It was probably that. It was a big inflatable thing.
It's
Anyway.
bigger than a regular TV. That's awesome. Anyway, if I recommend people watch this. We talked about the trailer when it came out, and it was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was hoping to get this watched before we recorded. Did you happen to watch any of this?
No,
yet?
I'm trying. I'm
Okay.
just like I'm delaying it because I want to try to figure out something fun for a group.
That'd be fun. Cool. Now I don't feel bad about not watching it yet. I watched like a few minutes and I was like, oh, it's an hour and a half. I gotta have to set aside some time to do this.
Yeah.
And looking up,
Cool.
I think I've got like you probably have all of these interviewed on Talk Python. I think I've got half of the people shown on like the opening screen. Or on,
Yeah, there's maybe 8 or 9 people. I think almost everyone. I think there's one person I don't necessarily recognize through the little thin slice,
Okay.
but yeah, I would say other than that, yeah, everyone's been on the show. It's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, cool. Can't wait to watch it.
All right, are you ready to laugh?
Yeah.
Let the hilarity ensue. We'll see. I can't remember what I came up. Oh, yeah. So this one is like a Jedi. I want you to put you in the mindset before we get to it. Okay, Brian?
Okay.
You're on Tatooine. You've been told of this Obi-Wan Kenobi who you must find. You know the old wizard man out past the cantina. So it says, the joke is, it has Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it says, when you read some incredibly bad code thinking, what moron wrote this? But halfway through, it starts to become familiar. Well, of course I know him. He is me.
Yeah.
Do you know this Obi-Wan? Yes, of course I know him. Do you know the bad wizard who wrote the bad code? Of course I know. He is me.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. It's usually that. I really love it when it's not me, but it's usually me. I'm the problem.
You pull up
it's
Get
me.
Blame because you're like, I'm going to, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. I really like that. Yeah, it's addictive, but I have blame on every line turned on VS Code so that whatever I'm working on, I'm like, who did this? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
But it's also just the last person that touched that line as well. So sometimes it's me, even if I didn't write the logic.
Right. It could be something so simple as you ran rough format and then committed the change.
Yeah,
And now
exactly.
it's yours. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, of course I know him. He is me.
Of course I know. All right. Cool. Well, wonderful episode again. Thanks everybody for showing up and listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.